So this is still Algebra 1. This is for you folks at home when you're struggling doing your homework. So today we taught solving equations using two steps. But this is a little different in that we have to distribute. So first you're going to distribute, and then after you distribute, then you have to do step 1 and step 2. So just in case we are a little confused with this distribution property, I want you to be able to view this tutorial at home when you're trying your own problems. And again, don't forget we have a quiz this Friday, and I can guarantee you on your quiz you will have a distribution question. So it's really important that you understand this concept. Okay, so you would distribute first, then combine like terms, step 1, step 2, okay? So I have the negative. For those of you that makes it easier, you can put a 1 here. If that physically makes it easier for you, you can make 1 right here. Because the same thing as saying -1, okay? So what I'm going to do is distribute this negative to the x, and I also have to distribute the negative to the 2. So now I have 9 equals 6 plus negative x plus negative 2. Okay? So now the next step, what's next step? Remember we said combined like terms. So we have a 2 and we have a 6. Okay? So what's 6 minus 2? So now we have 9 equals 4 plus negative x. Okay? Now, this is step 1, step 2. Remember, we always have to get rid of what's not attached to x first. Okay? Then you can get rid of that negative sign that's attached to x. So I'm going to subtract the 4 because that's a positive 4. Positive 4 minus 4, that gives you a 0, so they'll cancel out. Then you subtract the 4 over here. 9 minus 4 gives me a 5. 5 equals negative x. But I don't want to know negative x. I want to know what positive x is. So now, to get rid of this negative and make this positive, I got to divide by a negative. Divided by a negative gives you the positive. Divide by a negative. So that makes it a -5. So x equals -5. You always want to square off your answer. So on the test, I know this is your final answer and there's no questions. Okay? There, you can see it. So there's many steps when you're distributing. You want to first distribute. After you distribute, you want to combine your like terms. Makes it easier for you. After you combine your like terms, you always want to get rid of what's not attached to x first. Again, you always have to do it to both sides, balance. After you get rid of what's not attached to your x first, then you get rid of whatever's attached to x. Again, you know if you're dividing or multiplying depending upon where it's attached. Is it attached to the top? If it's attached to the top, you would divide because you put it on the bottom to get rid of. If it was attached to the bottom, you would multiply to get rid of it. Okay? And that's the distributing property.